Hey everyone, just the ordinary fisherman here, getting ready to have an adventure out on the St. Louis River. Today is another weather-driven day, which ends up being kind of the mother of all invention in the sense of going out, what you're going to do and where you're going to be at. It's too windy for me to get out on pretty much any lake in this little boat of mine. So I'm going to put my boat in the St. Louis River north of Cloquet, so it's above the dam. And I'm going to challenge myself to the limit of one rod and seeing how many different kinds of species I can catch with that one rod and the different styles of fishing I'm going to need to do to catch them. So my two main rods are my 7-footer, which has 8-pound P-line on it, which is a fluorocarbon substitute. Acts a lot like fluorocarbon, but it's a lot cheaper. And my other main rod I like to use is my 6.5-foot rod with 8-pound mono on it. Both rods were purchased under $50. One was a combo, and one was finding a rod on sale and a reel on sale, and was able to get them under $50. And of course, because I can't buy all my rods at once, these were purchased a few years apart. Both these rods are medium fast action rods, so they're similar in that way, but obviously one's just a little bit shorter than the other. I'm going to choose the 6.5-footer because I don't feel like I need to cast super far today, and I can be way more accurate with this than I can be with my 7-footer. And I think I'm going to try to get some bass in the boat, which means I'm going to be targeting smaller spots, ripples behind rocks and eddies and things like that. So I think I'm going to go with this one because this one I can definitely use for walleye or catfish or something else I switch gears for. So this rod is already set up with a little quick snap on it, and as the day progresses and we go after some fish, you'll see how I keep that quick snap on basically and just use that to easily switch gears to different species. And that'll be the challenge today, is to use the one rod, different styles of fishing for different kinds of fish, and see how many different kinds of fish I can put in the boat. It's the one rod challenge day. So let's get to it, see what we can find. Made it. So the reason why I chose fishing here is with the narrower channel and the meandering of the river, I'm going to be able to find some calmer spots out of the wind, and the hope is just to be able to maneuver and do what I need to do to catch fish, right? I've fished on the shoreline along the stretch of river, but I've never put the boat in on the St. Louis River above the dam, so this is going to be a new experience in that way. We're just going to utilize what I know about the river and river fishing, along with learning and exploring, and see what we can find. I literally only brought one rod to not even tempt myself to think about using a different rod while I'm out. So I only have one rod, so I'm going to live or die by how that goes, and we'll see how many different species we can catch. This is going to be fun. Let's go do it. Alright, I've tucked into my first spot here, and I'm going to bring out the old trusty jig and a grub. When I've fished the New River down in North Carolina, used to do that a lot, and Cloquet River, which is a tributary of the St. Louis River here that I'm on, and here through the St. Louis River where I'm just casting around. This is just a great river bait. I caught lots of bass and walleye on this, so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm just using the old quick snap again. Snapping that right on there, just like that, and off I go. Round one, we'll see if we get a bass on the board. There, we got fish number one on. It's probably a bass, the way it's feeling. So I just tucked myself in an eddy here where the strong current is going, making almost like a wall, and then kicking little eddies out to the side, and in rivers, I found that to be a good spot for bass, especially to ambush. Like to be just off that current where they can ambush and grab food quick. This feels like a decent one. Of course, it's in the current. They all feel decent in the current. Oh yeah, love the fight. Come on, buddy. Show yourself. I'm just a little excited. It's my first river bass in a while. It's good. Watch, it's gonna be a little 12-incher. Woo! Like nothing will catch on Lake Vermilion, but for St. Louis River, that's fun right there. In the current, man, they fight. Lots of fun. Let's see if we can get a couple more here. So species number 1 on the board with my one rod day. Smallmouth bass. Might have bass number 2 here. Oh yes. Another little 12-incher. He's in the current, he's in the current. Kind of cookie cutter, 12-inchers. A little bit bigger one. It's 13 and a half. Not giants, but you know, fun. Lots of fun. These river fish love to fight. They love to fight. They're raised in the current and they know how to pull your line. Fight again. Ooh, fun. Jump, buddy, jump. Show me your stunts. This is the smallest one so far, but the most acrobatic. Woo. All right, I'm getting the bass down. I need to start finding some catfish and walleyes to get into other species on my one rod outing here. Bass are too much fun though. They might be small, but it's fun to cast a spot where you think they are and they actually are there and they hit. And living in that current, they're broad-shouldered fish. All right, it's time for me to switch gears. I'm going to try for some catfish now, and I'm just going to do my quick switch up here of what I'm going to use. I'm taking off my grub that I was chasing bass with the quick snap that I keep on the end here. I just snap on a barrel swivel like that. So now it's got a barrel swivel on it. I put on the lure I like to use for catfishing on the bottom, which is a modified spinning rig or Lindy rig. It's just a shortened version of it, and I keep the spinner on it. Down there in the current, that spinner gets waving, and I've done pretty well in this river here with that kind of a setup. So I'll put that on the end of the barrel swivel, and then I'll take my weight, which in this case is just me a 1/4 ounce, and I also put that in the end of the barrel swivel, and I close the barrel swivel up, and I'm ready to toss it out there for some catfish and tight lining. So in literally about 60 seconds, I switch gears from tossing a grub and chasing bass to rigged up and ready to go for catfish. So I'm going to put a crawler on the end of that. Let's get in the water and see if we can get one. Just moved. Didn't have a chance to really set too much up. I don't know what I got here. It's only been out for a minute. It's going to be a bass or catfish. Hey, species number 2. Of course, this is the size we got here. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh at our small little catfish. They certainly get bigger, but there's a nice little channel cat. So I got species number 2 on the board. I'm gonna stick with the tight lining for a little bit because sometimes I catch walleyes on it too. See if we can get a third species. There's some red horse suckers in here as well, so there's a chance for that. But lots of fun. Let's get some more. Oh! Here we go. There we go. There's a decent fish. I thought something was biting and nibbling on it. This might be a bass though. Might be a bass. Or not. Another catfish. There we go. That one's bigger than the last one. Not by much. Having a hard time grabbing the hook. Got it. They're pretty fish in their own right. It's talking to me. There's another one already. There we go. So this spinner rig that I'm using for this, oh, I lost him. That I'm using for these fish here, the reason why I think this works so well is I'm in the current, and that means that this spinner bait's actually spinning down there and actually moving around in the current and causing flash. If you were in slack water on a lake or slow part of the river, I'm not sure this would work as well, and you probably need a floating rig. But this works pretty well for this 8 to 10 feet of water that I'm in here, and the current is moving pretty good in here too. So yeah, I've had good success with this spinnerbait tight line style of fishing on the St. Louis River. There we go. Finally, had quite a few bites and missed them all. Finally get another one. Decent catfish. There we go. That's a little better size for what we like to see here. Again, I know if you're a cat fisherman at heart, even here in Minnesota, you can catch them a lot bigger than this, but it sure is a fun way to fish. Puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Thank you. So I think it's probably time to start chasing another species. Walleye and red horse suckers are really the only other two that I know I could chase in this stretch. There might be a straggling northern around here too, but I don't know, I'm having kind of fun catfishing too. Might stick around a little bit longer. It's fun watching the end of your rod go toot 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 and have one on there. Good times. Is he on? Yep, he's on all right. I've got a circle hook on here and it works great. But you got to make sure you get it in the mouth of the fish. Once it's in the mouth, it ain't coming out. Oh, we got another species. Yeah. All right. That's a good fish. look at that guy. I think that's just a regular sucker, not a red horse, because the fins are not red at all. Couple pounds maybe. So I think we'll call it good with this fish. 2 distinct different ways of fishing and 3 different species today. Not a bad outing. Thanks for joining me. I hope that you found this beneficial. Just seeing how you can just take one rod and just change your equipment just a little bit, a couple little tweaks. Obviously planning ahead and maybe tying some things you need to tie, like the spinner rig that I got, and having the quick snap and things like that will help you switch things up quickly and be able to pursue different species and different styles of fishing without needing to have a whole bunch of fishing rods. I literally stuck with one rod today. I only brought one rod to force myself to do it, and managed to make it all work. So I hope you find this encouraging. Get out there and hit a body of water nearby. All it takes is a fishing rod, a little bit of gear, some will and want to, and you'll be able to get some fish. Take a kid with you the next time you go fishing as well. Thanks for joining me again today in this episode. Until next time, get out there and go fishing. God bless, and tight lines. Thanks for watching another episode of The Ordinary Fisherman. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notifications so that you will know when we're out on our next adventure. Now go out there and catch some fish. Tight lines.